You're listening to episode number 370 of the 360 Vegas podcast. Check out the blog at 360vegaspodcast.com or send us an email at 360vegaspodcast@gmail.com. You can support the show financially when you shop at Amazon and Vegas.com. Simply go to the blog, click on the corresponding banner, and go about your shopping. It's that easy to give us money without giving us money. Also, get early and sometimes exclusive access to all things 360 Vegas with a $7 per month subscription to Patreon. That's patreon.com/360Vegas.
Day after tomorrow, gentlemen, we'll be in Las Vegas.
Welcome to Vegas.
Las Vegas functions on a 24-hour-a-day schedule.
The pools, the casino.
Big volcano out in front.
That's the Eiffel Tower.
Bellagio.
Riviera.
The Mirage.
Flamingo. Sahara.
The MGM Grand.
This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
I want to gamble.
They always put the machines that pay off the most right in the front.
Good luck.
The Strip is just the most amazing stretch of road, I think, probably anywhere in the world.
Kicking ass in Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
So we've got some personal news that we'd like to share. Why don't you tell them, Karen?
I have a new job.
Yes, and what is it?
So I am the CFO for Black Star Hospitality. It is one of many companies, but the companies that I'm over operate 3 El Dorado cantinas here in Vegas, in addition to a bunch of sugar factory locations across the country, and they're expanding rapidly. So I tried the whole financial advisor thing, learned a lot. Probably wasn't the best time to start, trying to build a business in the middle of a pandemic, but did learn about myself that I am not a salesperson. And so this opportunity came up like out of nowhere, and it just seems like a really good fit. So I'm kind of getting back to my restaurant roots, and so I'm super excited. Had 3 days on the job so far, and I've wanted to go back the last 2 days, so that's always a good sign. And they've let me come back, so that's also a good sign. So yeah, it's going well. It's going to be a fun challenge.
I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Super exciting. That's very exciting.
It is. Thanks, guys.
Well, then let's start the show. He's Mark, she's Karen, I'm Tony, and as always, we start with Random Vegas.
The Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas requires unvaccinated employees to test negative for COVID every 72 hours. We got that from @LasVegasLocally. Oh, that seems like that would be
a pretty good motivation to go get vaccinated, right?
Yeah, just so people will leave me alone.
Especially if they're still doing the swabs all the way up the nose and like itching your brain to have to go do that every 3 days.
For 3 days.
Suck.
Yeah. Although you gotta respect those people. They're really standing on their principle, man.
Yeah. Or they might not be able to get it. That's the other thing. There are some people, it's not just that they don't want to. There's some that can't. But yeah that would suck.
I agree. I've got a coworker who she's got diabetes, and she was born with it. She's got type 1 diabetes, and her doctor has told her for the time being to just hang tight on getting a vaccine. And she's I don't want to say scared to death, but she's concerned because things are starting to kind of come back online, specifically as it relates to work. And she's not really, she still has to wear a mask in the office because she's unvaccinated. And I feel for folks who have been medically told hold off on getting a vaccine at this point in time. I would almost, this is easy for me to say, right? But I would almost say, screw it, at this point I'm going to take the chance. But again, that's easy for me to say because I wasn't put in that position. Right. I don't know what I would do if I were in that position where I had a doctor saying don't take it just yet. Yeah. So
that would be tough. That would be tough.
It would.
But
and I can testify firsthand, obviously from having had COVID, that those nasal swabs are the worst. And I got the privilege of getting to go through it twice, actually, because they nasal swabbed me initially to test me for the flu. And then when it came back negative for the flu, they made me come back in and re-nasal swab to get tested for COVID.
Jeez.
So,
No,
yeah,
I actually only took one COVID test, and it was I did it through a CVS drive-through. So they actually swabbed my own nose myself, and so they put it out through the drive-through window, and they're coaching you through. They're like, okay, just swab around in there for 30 seconds. And I'm like, does it got to go all the way up? She's like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, works for me. So mine wasn't bad at all. But yeah, if they're doing it to you, especially early on, I think they were getting way up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely were. All right. Cool. Next up is the Twit Pick of the Week.
Elegant and fabulous. Opulent bordering on gaudy. The pool at Caesar's Palace plays it right down the line to create an experience like no other. At Mississippi Rob 4 shows us an elevated view of a gorgeous theme embraced fully poolside. It's a view that beckons one to join every time you look out your window.
So I gotta concede, I've never had this pool view before, so I'm not really sure what which tower he would have been in to be able to get such a kick-ass view of the pool.
It's the Augustus.
That would explain it. I've never stayed in the Augustus Tower before.
Yeah.
Gorgeous pick, just gorgeous.
Yeah, I really don't have much to add on this. It's a cool picture of the pool. The pool area at Caesars is nice.
Yeah.
Just Caesars itself sucks.
Right.
So.
I concur. As always, we will link to the photo on our blog, featured on all of our social media outlets such as Flickr, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Let's get into the news. All right, tell me about Vegas Vic's Tavern.
The city of Las Vegas approved a retail lease for Vic Symphony Park LLC for development of a full-service restaurant and tavern featuring Vegas Vic. The restaurant and lounge will span 6,300 square feet and feature a replica of Vegas Vic. It will be an Italian-themed restaurant focused on entertainment, specifically jazz. The two parties agreed to a 21-year term for $4.2 million, which is well below the market value. However, the developer is expected to additionally invest more than $2 million into the property.
Where is this?
Oh, I forgot to grab it. I don't know exactly where. I know it's downtown.
Okay. So it's going to be like a freestanding restaurant?
I don't know. It says it's across from the Discovery Children's Museum in Symphony Park.
Oh, yeah, it will be a freestanding restaurant then.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, anything, if it's tied into Vegas Vic, if it's going to have a replica there, I think that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be one that actually works.
Right. See if we can get him smoking again.
Right. Right, exactly.
That's awesome. Although, interestingly enough, this is probably not going to be a Fremont Street Experience tourist attraction. Is that a fair assessment?
I would say it would draw the people at the at that Discovery area.
Right. Well, and they are
Park.
like future development. They are looking to build a pedestrian bridge that will get you from the old Greyhound bus station there by Plaza across over into Symphony Park. So there is a lot of development that's happening at Symphony Park, but it's going to end up being more like a mixed use, retail, housing, office kind of a location.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
So not really a downtown kind of vibe or feel to it, more of a outdoor mall sort of thing.
Right.
All right. Next up, the new Fontainebleau.
Marriott's website lists a fourth quarter of 2023 opening of a JW Marriott on the Strip, formerly known as the Fontainebleau site. The Fontainebleau project started in 2006 on the site formerly home to the El Rancho, the second one, not the original. However, the Great Recession and funding issues caused the project to fall into bankruptcy. Carl Icahn bought it out of bankruptcy in 2010, liquidated its assets, and then sold it in August of 2017 to the Witkoff Group for $600 million. The Witkoff Group promptly renamed it the Drew, but progress on the project never occurred. Jeff Sofer, one of the original investigators in Fontainebleau, bought it with the Koch Industries.
Investigators?
Investors. One of the original investors in Fontainebleau. They bought it with Koch Industries in 2019. To date, no progress has been made on the project. until actual progress is made on the structure projected to be 70% complete, we will continue to refer to it as the Fontainebleau.
Yeah, I'm so sick and tired of people talking about what they're going to do with that property, and there's just way too many questions. Like, are they just going to try to finish it as is? Are they going to have to gut it? Are they going to implode it and start over?
Right.
You know, it just, if it happens, awesome. I would love to see it happen, but yeah.
It's now surpassed Landmark as the longest property left abandoned.
Right.
Yeah.
I had meant to bring this up. Well, let me rephrase. Something that was kind of at the forefront of my mind to share on the podcast is, and what jogged my memory was talking about Fontainebleau here, is there is now, for folks that have Paramount Plus streaming, there is a television show called Aerial Cities where the show essentially does nothing but aerial shots of a particular city, but then it talks about certain aspects of that city. And no surprise, they've done Las Vegas. As a matter of fact, it's episode 1, season 1. Talk about starting off with a bang.
Yeah, nowhere to go but down from there.
Right.
In my opinion, I could not agree with you more. No offense to the good people of, I think, Seattle, San Fran, and Chicago. I think I saw that their show cities may be highlighted as well, but no. They actually talk about they literally show the Fontainebleau, and they show it right across the street from what should have been the Echelon as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting to get to see it, from an aerial shot. So anybody that's got Paramount Plus should absolutely watch it. As a matter of fact, I've got a few things. I probably am going to rewatch it and make my wife watch it. And when I say make my wife watch it, it will be a very easy make her to do. I know she'll love it. But there are some really, really, really interesting factoids that I'm going to tweet out as I'm watching it. So
Okay.
Watch it before I ruin all of it, all of the good bits of information.
Right.
And finally, we've got a Whitney Houston residency.
Originally announced in the spring of 2020 to be setting up shop at the Flamingo, this week the Las Vegas Sun is reporting the production will instead be at Harrah's starting October 26th. The show will feature a hologram of Whitney Houston performing with a live band, backup singers, and dancers. Tickets start at $49, and the residency is scheduled to run through May 1st of 2022. I'm so conflicted with this thing because I feel like I should see it because it's hologram technology and that would be cool, but at the same time I don't know how interested I am in seeing Whitney Houston perform. Like if Whitney Houston was still alive today and she did it at a Vegas residency, I wouldn't go to it.
I probably would. I think I would.
Yeah.
It was so funny. It was someplace the other day. Oh, I know. I was leaving the hair salon, and the music that they had piped in through, somebody was covering a Whitney Houston song.
Oh yeah.
And as I'm just listening to it, I'm like, okay, people should not be allowed to cover her music
Right.
because nobody can sing it the way that she did.
Right.
So from that standpoint, and if you think about it, she's got a lot of hits.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a fun show. I don't know that I would go to this because the main draw and feature is pre-recorded. So I mean, if I want to hear her sing, I can just go to Apple Music and open it up and look up her and not have to worry about the backup singers that are trying to do their own runs in the background to impress you, so they get another gig someplace else or the band screws up or whatever. So yeah, I don't know
you're
that
a real downer about this one.
Unlike cocaine,
right?
Which Whitney knows all too well. All right, well, I think that's going to do it then for news. Let's get into prop bets. For those of you unfamiliar, prop bets is an extension of the news, but with just bits and pieces of noteworthy items. First up, Clark County voted to make masks mandatory for business employees, but not for patrons at this time. The new mandate runs until August 17th.
Yep. Technically, I'm supposed to be wearing one at work.
Right, because you're indoors.
I'm in an office.
Yeah,
but everybody there is vaccinated and nobody's having a hissy fit over it, so we're not wearing them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand why they're doing it, and part of me is glad that it's only for business employees.
Yeah,
Not for everybody.
I feel bad for the employees.
Well, that's what I went to see my chiropractor this week, and I wore my mask in because I knew that they would be, and I don't know. I might I might actually start wearing it indoors if I'm shopping and retailing and that kind of stuff more often now, just to try to help out and to,
Yeah, no, I got the damn shot. I'm wandering around without a fucking mask. That's for sure.
And you're allowed to until they change their mind and tell us we have to again.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno Mars canceled this weekend's performances, citing unforeseen circumstances. Vital Vegas reported it was COVID related. I mean, yeah, they canceled this like 3 days before.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
No. At Melts Vegas is reporting that bread is no longer complimentary at Giada's at Cromwell. The bread plate that was previously free is now $9 on the menu. I paid for it. It was an awesome.
Yeah, but this pisses me off.
Yeah.
It is. It's one of the best. And it's not, I mean, the bread is delicious, but then all the stuff that you get with it. You get, the butter and the olive oil and the capers and the salt. And I know I'm forgetting all kinds of other stuff, but it's delicious.
Yeah.
It just makes me mad that, they were giving it away for free before. And even the fact that they're bringing it back, because once they reopen post-COVID, we've been twice, I think, and I keep asking them every time. I'm like, hey, is the bread back? Is the bread back? I'm
sure that's why they just start charging for it. They're like, it's in high demand. People would pay money for it.
Oh, yeah, of course they would, because it is really good. It just, I don't know, makes me mad.
Yeah.
Next up, Vital Vegas is reporting that, Main Street Station is targeted for a September 1st date to reopen. Now, of course, that date is expected to be flexible, as a hard start date of October 31st was agreed upon with the union. But hey, any date is cool by me.
Yeah,
better than no date.
Agreed.
Definitely glad to have something there on the calendar for that.
Agreed.
In disappointing and gross news, Vital Vegas confirmed that part of the sale to San Manuel included the Damien Hirst, I'm just killing these names here, included the Damien Hirst installation that shows a shark in formaldehyde cut in 2/3. Progress is slow on this one, with the estimated reopening in early 2022.
I hate that shark thing.
I know. It's... Ugh.
Yeah.
But what else are they going to do with it? I mean...
Well, they got rid of all of his other art pieces, so...
Well, even the big veiny dick guy. Yeah.
8-foot cock. It was reported that Seersuckers at Caesar's Palace has now closed. No word what will replace it. That's a bummer. We never even got to check that out.
I don't think I even heard of it, to be honest with you.
Just a bar, lounge, I think.
So maybe not then. I thought the wife and I had eaten there one time and thought the food was, good, not great.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a restaurant.
I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. It seems like something's constantly going through that spot.
Right.
Same spot as it used to be Elton John's Champagne restaurant, and now it's the Vanderpump thing. At least for now, it is.
Right. The garden, the Vanderpump Garden or something.
I've heard that thing's doing really good.
I'm boycotting that one out of principle.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you, Kieran. I don't think I could bring myself to go in there.
Yeah.
I mean, says the guy that never went into the Elton John Champagne thing, and I really like Elton John, so
right.
Brooklyn Bowl has reopened in the Link Promenade, and with it returns another Blue Ribbon establishment that offers their legendary fried chicken.
Yep. So
all hope is not lost.
Yeah. For those of you still craving it, it's not like they're going to offer everything that they had before. I think these are just chicken wings. Is all they are.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like they have at Blue Ribbon Sushi.
Yep.
Raising Cane's. Speaking of chicken, Raising Cane's.
Chicken
fingers chicken fingers is coming to the Showcase Mall. It will be a 2-story flagship location located near the Hard Rock Cafe on the Strip.
They're really doing a lot of shit over at that Showcase Mall.
You can just keep building up. They got the property. They might as well do something with it.
Right. Get vertical. Frontier is adding 5 new nonstop routes to Vegas starting September of 2021. They are Des Moines, Iowa, Harlingen, Texas, Minneapolis, Minnesota, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
I feel like you really only needed the states on the first 2. I feel like the last 3, everybody... You say Minneapolis, New Orleans, and Sioux Falls. I feel like people know where those are.
Yeah, fair enough.
Caesars Entertainment is holding a vaccination clinic this Saturday at the Link Promenade at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. Those who get vaccinated will be entered into a raffle to win hundreds of prizes, including tickets to the sold-out Usher residency at Caesars.
They're trying hard.
Yeah, I appreciate them making the effort to push for this. But
It's interesting. I wonder who. I mean, are they? Do you think they're targeting tourists?
See, I never understood like some of these mobile pop-up ones that are in touristy locations because you need to get 2 shots, right? So
Yes,
you get one
yes.
here, you still got to go and get the other one.
I think the
a couple weeks
idea
later.
is if you can at least get one, that's better than nothing.
Oh, that's true.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Although they're not fully vaccinated, so they would still, if they worked at Cosmo, they would still have to get their nose swabbed
Right.
at 72 hours.
Good callback.
The Sand Dollar is a live music venue opening later this year inside the plaza just off the casino floor and will have its own entrance on Main Street. Their original location has been in operation west of the Strip for 40 years.
I had never heard of this place
I
before.
hadn't either.
Yeah, but they this was kind of a big announcement that they had. So
Look at Plaza; they just keep adding stuff.
I think the other place that they've been running that's west of the Strip is I think it's country music. So it's interesting that they're embracing jazz now here.
Oh, is it going to be a jazz spot?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say country kind of goes in with the bull riding stuff
Right,
that they
right.
tend to do at Plaza, but all right, jazz it is.
This week, Cromwell, Link, and Flamingo all went down for at least an hour. No word why.
Hackers.
I know, right?
And when you say they went down, I assume you're talking about their slot machines?
Yeah, the casino floor went down. From my understanding, it was all the slot machines.
Wow. Jeez. State health departments around the country are advising the people in their state to not come to Las Vegas unless they have been vaccinated. Las Vegas is currently trending as a hotspot for COVID.
This feels like, yeah, duh. Like, I thought that was kind of part of the reason why you're, like, getting the shot. Like, all right, I got the shot. Now I'm going to go to Vegas.
Yeah, unless you're one of those people that don't believe in the vaccine and just
Right.
want to get the shot and still want to travel because you can.
Right.
But yeah, the numbers, I was actually surprised. We were listening to it last night and they said their current positivity rate's like 14%.
Yeah.
But
Is that a lot?
yes, the CDC guidelines, I think, recommends less than 4
Yeah.
or less than 5. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, it's jumped up quite a bit.
I feel like it's still low, though, like, in retrospect.
Well, and that also doesn't track, the people that are visiting that then go home and come down with it. That's
Right.
just the residents. And I also think that it might be slightly elevated because, the people that are getting tested are the ones that are feeling symptoms. And if
Right.
they haven't been vaccinated and you have symptoms, then the likelihood now is, you probably have a pretty good shot of having it.
Like the Fontainebleau, I'm tired of hearing about COVID. Like, just fucking make the progress you promised us. Just do it. I don't stop talking about it and just do it.
Yeah. Right. Something that I actually teased last week. Caesars Entertainment signed a 20-year, $138 million deal with the New Orleans Saints for the naming rights to the Superdome. Rebranding the stadium will be complete before the team's August 23rd first preseason home game. Caesars is also the official casino and sports betting partner of the NFL.
That's the only thing that they are. MGM has like the NBA, NHL.
Right. All the others.
Right. Venetian renamed the Sand Showroom to the Summit Showroom in honor of the Rat Pack performances referred to by the same name.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like
That's
that they. Because obviously you couldn't keep it the Sands, so I like that they still
Went
tied
back
it
in
into
history.
the Sands.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I will gladly pay $49 for someone to hit the play button on a CD player whenever they choose to do a Rat Pack Summit hologram show.
Oh wow.
With a live band.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that'd be awesome.
That would
It could be a live
that
big
would be
band.
fun.
I'd fucking go see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, recently released from their Link residency, the Bronx Wanderers have found a new home at the Westgate Cabaret starting September 20th. Shows start at 8 p.m. Monday through Thursdays and 5:30 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Who is this?
This is the one that has the guy that looks like Scott in it. It's the Bronx Wanderers.
Oh, yeah. See, I still don't know what kind of music they do, but I do remember seeing that on the building,
It's
on their
bizarre.
little
They
billboard.
look like they could totally be related.
Yeah, they're really good.
Wild. All right, that's going to do it for news and prop bets. Let's move on to coming attractions. Coming Attractions, brought to you by Vegas.com, is the portion of the show where we share with you acts and artists outside of their usual residencies that will be performing in Vegas in the future. First up, Earth, Wind, and Fire are performing at the Venetian on select dates November 10th through the 20th. Show starts at 8 p.m. and tickets start at $74. And if anybody's wondering, I think the bourbon's finally starting to kick in because look at Tony's got a little pep in his step all of a sudden.
Well, that didn't take too long. Corey Taylor is performing at the House of Blues at Mandalay Bay Friday, August 6th. Show starts at 8 p.m. Tickets start at $30.
That is such a great venue. I encourage anybody to see an artist at
Yeah, we've
the
seen a
House of
couple
Blues.
good shows there.
Yeah. Simple Plan and Newfound Glory are performing at the House of Blues at Mandalay Bay Sunday, September 5th. Show starts at 6:30 p.m. Tickets start at $35.
In This Moment and Black Veil Brides are performing at the House of Blues at Mandalay Bay Wednesday, September 29th. Show starts at 5 p.m. and tickets start at $38.
Never heard of either one of those.
Nope.
Gwar with Napalm Death and I Hate God. That is the name of the band. not me saying it, but it's EYE. I Hate God. Are performing at the House of Blues at Mandalay Bay Saturday, November 20th. Show starts at 6:30 p.m. Tickets start at $27.
I live in fear of Guar.
Yeah, I don't think I could go do that.
No. Blue Oyster Cult are performing at the Golden Nugget Friday, December 31st. Show starts at 8 p.m. Tickets start at $69.
Weren't they a one-hit wonder with Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Blue Oyster Cult? No, they also did Don't Fear the Reaper. That's the
okay,
most
fine.
famous
Two
song.
songs. $70 for a ticket, and I'm going to have to wait until the fucking
Encore?
reprise or whatever you call it, where they do it at the very end. Like, you know, they're like,
The encore.
thank you, good night. And they go off stage, and everybody's clapping, and they come back on, and they do just,
Yeah,
they
it's
finally do the
called-
songs that you've been
it's
waiting
encore.
for
It's-
the entire fucking night.
It's called an encore, Tony.
Called Encore.
Encore, that's it, not reprise. I mean, it was
That bourbon is kicking
synonymous.
in. We knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Daughtry and Seven Dust are performing at the theater at Virgin Sunday, December 5th. Show starts at 8 p.m. and tickets start at $30.
I would go see Daughtry.
Yeah.
They've got quite a few good songs.
Yeah.
Announced this week, the Rolling Stones are performing at Allegiant Stadium on Saturday, November 6th. Show starts at 8 p.m. Tickets go on sale July 30th.
John Mayer is performing at the MGM Grand Garden Arena Friday, March 11th. Show starts at 8 p.m. Tickets start at $49.
And finally, the Killers are performing at T-Mobile Arena Friday, August 26th, 2022. So we're talking next year, kiddies.
Yeah.
Show starts at 7:30 p.m. and tickets start at $35.
I think that is the earliest I've ever seen a band announce
More than a
tour
year
date.
out?
Yeah, more
Yeah.
than a year out.
Well, if they got it scheduled, might as well get it out there.
I guess.
If they do it far enough in advance, they know they've got the spot.
Right.
Don't forget that you can get links to purchase tickets to these and all the artists that we report on our coming attractions calendar on the blog. Let's check the river. All right, Karen, so it looks like we've got 2 emails for some listener feedback. Why don't you jump in with the first one there?
All right, the first one is an email that we got from James. James writes, the Venetian used to have slot machines that you could order drinks from. I haven't seen them lately. Thanks, pandemic. Love the show, James.
That's the first I've heard of that. I haven't seen.
I didn't know that.
The.
Although we also don't gamble there a ton.
It's true. It's
So-
true.
Yeah.
You know,
But that should be more widely reported, man. If that's out there, that's awesome.
it
Well,
would
and it's
be.
just so easy too. I mean, I would think, especially for the cocktail servers, it would be so easy to just have it pop up if somebody wants. I mean,
Agreed.
I think you could easily take a cocktail order from the floor as you're walking, but to have it show up right there on a screen back at your station, and you know this machine wants X and that machine wants Y and the other machine wants Z, that just seems so efficient, both for the casino, for the player, and then ultimately for the server. I guess I'm just a little surprised that hasn't taken off a bit more.
I think that one of the tricky parts for me would be making sure that the servers know how to identify which machine is which, because you can. I mean, I guess you got to know. I know they know their path, right? They know their territory and like which section, but to know the actual machine, I think would be a little more complicated.
My understanding is each of those machines have their own individualized, we'll call it serial number. That's not the best word to use, but floor number.
Right.
I don't know how casino floors get laid out, but I would assume all of the machines would be in numerical order. So in theory, plus I figure after, the first week or two, they probably know exactly where these machines are. What would suck would be for these behemoth, from a footprint standpoint, casinos like Venetian, which are just massive. I mean, I could imagine it would take you a really long time to finally learn, as a server, which spots of the floor are the specific areas that you would be tending, for lack of a better term.
Right.
All right, and then give us our next one.
All right, we also got an email from Josh W., a.k.a. Vegas J Dubs, titled The Status Match Olympics. Josh writes, "Hey, Mark, Karen, and T-Bone. Just a quick trip report on a quick out and back trip the wife and I completed. I call it the Status Match Olympics. Whew. I recently achieved Caesars Diamond via a Wyndham tier match. I have a longer, quote, real trip planned next month for my birthday, but live within driving distance, so I figured it made sense to get some tier matching done now before the various chains revoke the opportunity to match. Any excuse, right? The wife and I headed out in the afternoon of Monday the 19th across the desert to the Promised Land. We rolled into town at 5 p.m. and first hit up the Rio because I needed to get my actual diamond card, and I think it's probably the easiest Caesars property to access from the freeway. Sure enough, we were in and out in 10 minutes. Then we went over the freeway to Bellagio to take advantage of the MGM matching. The Bellagio Conservatory is a must-do for the wife on every trip, so I figured we could knock out 2 tasks at the same stop. We checked out the amazing summer decorations in the conservatory, then hit up the M Life desk. Got myself matched over to M Life Gold, and the wife matched to Gold as well, since MGM is the only chain that I know of that will match status for 2 people who share an address. After that, we walked over to Caesars Palace to get the wife matched over to Diamond. Right now, Caesars will only status match new players, and my wife didn't have a Caesars reward card, so we took advantage of that. However, going to Caesars Palace was probably a mistake, as it always is. Their casino floor is so massive, and the rewards desk was pretty far away from the Bellagio side of the property, and the line was so slow. Should have gone to Bally's. Oh, I haven't mentioned yet that we had dinner reservations at 9 Fine Irishman in New York with some friends at 7:45. We finally got my wife's Caesar match completed and then hustled back through Caesars, back through Bellagio, and to our car. A relatively quick trip up the strip to the Wynn, where we would be staying, and our final status match Olympics hurdle. But it was now 7 o'clock, so we postponed our Wynn status match. Thankfully, check-in at the Wynn was a breeze, and the check-in agent called the bell desk on our behalf when he sensed we were in a hurry. After a quick shower and change, we got back to our car and down to New York, arriving at 7:50. Better late than never. And taking advantage of our new gold status for some much-needed complimentary valet service.
Nice.
Huge when you're running late. We now had visited 5 different properties in the 3 hours we were in town.
Wow.
That is impressive.
It's impressive.
Finally, we were able to relax a little and enjoy dinner with friends and a night of gambling. I had the Irish nachos with corned beef, and my wife had the chicken pot pie. My nachos were amazing, and they also were available with chicken or steak, but they really shined with the corned beef. My wife's chicken pot pie had the largest, flakiest crust I have ever seen on a pie. We finished the meal with a shared carrot cake that was ridiculously delicious. After a few hours of slots and video poker, and an argument with a bartender who tried to charge me for a Bud Light that I wasn't drinking and was already on the bar when I sat down, we headed back to Wynn for some much-needed sleep. The next day, the wife and I finally got our win status matches over to Platinum. Olympics completed. We were ready for breakfast, but the Wynn has limited breakfast options and had long lines, so we went over to the Fashion Show Mall and just grabbed Starbucks. I was actually working that day, so the wife used her new Wynn Platinum status for a reduced price spa day. I stayed in the room to work, grateful for Zoom virtual backgrounds. I might have gone downstairs several times during breaks for some gaming. When work was done, we went over to Resorts World to check everything out. I was rocking my Moonshot Stardust t-shirt and got pictures in front of the two different Stardust signs in the resort. I desperately wanted to try the old-fashioned ice cream at Albi and Ramsa, I think is how you say that. Since I share Tony's love of bourbon. But alas, I sometimes have trouble with dairy, and we had tickets to Mystere in a couple of hours, so I decided not to tempt fate. Next time. And earlier in the day, perhaps.
Person sitting next to you at that concert appreciates that as well.
We went into Here Kitty Kitty Vice Den, where the wife had the Mon Cherie, a cherry rum cocktail she reported as good. We also had the short ribs to tie us over until after our show. I had the water since we drove. The short ribs were great, but at the end they asked if we could pay cash since their system was down. I feel like Resorts World isn't ready for prime time in a few weeks.
Right.
Or prime time a few weeks in. Sorry. So back to the Wynn to park and then get changed and then over to TI for Mystere. It was a completely full house and the performance was excellent, especially when you consider that up until 3 weeks ago, the show had been on hiatus for 15 months.
Right.
We capped off the evening by returning to the Wynn for dinner at Allegro. The portions looked deceptively small. I filled up with the lasagna and the wife enjoyed her eggplant parmesan and Bianca pizza with prosciutto. We were so full we couldn't finish our shared tiramisu. The service was slow, but forgivable since that seems to be a problem pretty much everywhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The next day, we checked out and made our way down to the new Pinball Hall of Fame. That was $20 well spent. We killed probably 90 minutes there, checking out the various games and falling into a deep well of nostalgia. A++ would do it again. Also, not enough people are talking about the Pinball Hall of Fame cat. I didn't know about the cat.
Yeah, me neither.
No, I have to go check out the cat. After that, we went over to Jessie Ray's on Valley View for our favorite barbecue on earth. I had the Jessie Ray, a pulled pork sandwich with barbecue potato chips inside it. It was good, but I'm not sure I would do that again. My wife had the 2-meat plate with the brisket, ribs, and mac and cheese. The wife ordered some extra brisket to go for a, quote, future dinner, but I'm surprised it made it home. After that, we hit the road and headed home. The icing on the cake, after being home for about 20 minutes, I received a DM from Tony regarding a 360 Vegas cocktail request that I gave him a while back. Cannot wait. I'm going to wrap this up because it has gone on long enough for a quick report on a quick out and back trip. Thanks for all you do, keeping Vegas alive for me between trips as well as on the drives out. Josh W., a.k.a. at Vegas J-Dubs.
That was awesome, Josh. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
It was a hell of a review.
We're going to have to try that Jessie Ray's because everybody keeps raving about it. And I, for some reason, thought it was like on the strip or downtown. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that it was in the burbs, and Valley View is not that far from us. So that might be worth a trip to trying it out.
Okay.
The only thing I can really contribute is just this very last part there. He had mentioned he had reached out to me, and I say this to all of our Patreon folks at the end of my cocktail videos. I say, if there's a particular drink out there that you would like me to highlight as a 360 Vegas cocktail event for the Patreon blog, for lack of a better term, you got to, I tell them, listen, make sure you get for me the recipe, like literally ask the bartender to write down for you what goes into that cocktail, and I need the proportions. Don't just tell me what they put in it, because that means nothing to me. I need the proportions as well. Well, Josh reached out to me and said, listen, I don't have it, but I really enjoy this particular cocktail. And I thought, well, I've had that cocktail. I bet you I could probably riff on it. So yeah, Josh, buddy, man, I have got a great video coming for you. I am super excited about it. I will. Josh obviously knows what it is, but Josh does not know this, and I'm going to tease it out a little bit. This is going to be a choose your own adventure sort of cocktail opportunity. Now, Mark and Karen know what it is because I shared with them kind of what's going on here and how fun this is going to be. But Josh, it's coming soon, buddy. So thank you for a really, really cool trip report. It was a lot of fun to get to live and do some things that I've never done. For example, I did not know that I could tier match my Caesar's Diamond over to M Life Gold, but he's ingenious to get it through Wyndham. The funny thing, and let me riff on this real quick, guys, and then I'll get into the closing. If you, and I'll have to figure out long term how it happened, if I can play it this way, but to the best I can tell, if you ever get either Caesar's Diamond or Wyndham Diamond, depending on which way you go. Do you go the gambling route to get your diamond, or do you go staying, so many nights over a calendar year with Wyndham Hotels to get your diamond status? I think you'll continuously be able to ping pong back and forth. So I was diamond. I was able to, I was Caesar's Diamond to be specific. I earned Caesar's Diamond. So I was able to tier match to Wyndham Diamond. I did not, however, the next calendar year, I did not make Caesar's Diamond through my play. So I was able to then use my Wyndham Diamond and tier match up to Diamond at Caesar's.
Just keep
Just
rolling them forward, huh?
Exactly. And my goal is to be able to go back and forth, but to learn that I could tier match up to gold with MGM, that's super cool. And then, Caesar's is cool, or Wynn is fine, but that's not nearly as accessible to me as like MGM is, since we've got an MGM Grand Detroit here in Michigan. Right. So,
yeah, Mark still hasn't
thank you,
gone
Josh.
over
that was
to
incredibly informative for me.
It was informative.
And I think with that, that'll do it for episode 370. Thank you all for listening and downloading. We really do appreciate it. If you'd like to check out any of the stories on today's show, you can do so on the blog, which is 360vegaspodcast.com. You can get premium and exclusive content when you subscribe to our show at patreon.com/360vegas and get 360 Vegas shirts, mugs, and anything else that we can slap a logo on. We do that at zazzle.com/360vegas. Also, if you'd like to send some feedback, much like James and Josh did, you can do that either written or audio, and that can be done and sent to 360vegaspodcast@gmail.com.
Tony, where can folks find you?
I'm at 360 Vegas Tony.
Karen.
I am at 360 Vegas Karen.
He just told you where you can find me, so until next time.